Hello, my name is Dave Orlandi. I am a consultant with Quest Software. What if you could understand critical diagnostic details of the resource-intensive or bottleneck queries running in your environment in just seconds? With Quest's Foglight, you can. What you see here is Foglight's web-based interface. More specifically, what's displayed is the Performance Investigator dashboard. Note the navigation tree to the left side with expanded data dimensions. From this view, I am immediately able to ascertain the following. In the top right, I see the user-selected window of time. For this instance, in this example, a SQL Server instance, this is the most workload-intensive query that's a part of this T-SQL batch run against this database using this application by this database user, run from this client machine, and is a part of this session. If this is the type of actionable data you want and need from a monitoring and diagnostic solution, watch the remainder of this video to see the few simple steps taken to get here. First, launch the Foglight web client and log in. From this primary dashboard called the Global View, choose the instance against which you'd like to diagnose query activity. In a cross-platform environment, select the SQL Server tile to isolate just the SQL Server instances. There are a few ways to determine which instance to diagnose. Order by the amount of workload, select based on the number of and/or severity of alarms, or maybe you already know which instance you'd like to investigate. Select the workload bar from the corresponding instance to diagnose. This brings you directly to the Performance Investigator dashboard. Now choose the window of time you'd like to filter on. This can be accomplished by selecting the day, date, and time here in the top right corner. You'll see in the top left options to use either a calendar or a timeline. I will use the default, which is the last hour. From here, select the resource consumption type you'd like to filter on. Workload is the default and is a combination of all of these. But if you'd like, you can choose to search for CPU resource-intensive queries by selecting CPU, or memory-related queries, and so on. I will use the default workload. Lastly, as shown earlier, expand the navigation tree here on the left side any way you'd like. For any of these nodes, called data dimensions, expand it by selecting the icon with the plus sign, and it will display most to least workload activity. In my example, I chose to expand the SQL statements. So, this first SQL statement is the most workload-intensive statement in the SQL Server instance in the last hour. Then, continue to traverse the tree directly under the statement to see the related information about that query as described earlier. This statement was run by this user against this database, and so on. I hope this information and workflow proved useful. What if you could? Now you can with Foglight for Databases. Search on Quest Foglight for Databases to learn more and download a free trial.